Yeah.
Thank you very much for waiting for such a long time. We have had a long discussion and have come to a view about all these matters that I'll ask someone to know. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Going through the reporting turn, so we're going to start with budgets. So the first three were, the decision was the same for all three. So this is regarding budget setting meeting of 2nd of March 2010, budget setting meeting of 1st of March 2011, and budget setting meeting of 6th of March 2012. The group leaders panel found that there was no breach of the code. This was not a unanimous vote, this was 3 votes to 2 for each of the 3 of those. The next set of votes, these votes relate to budget setting meeting of 5th of March 2013 and budget setting meeting of 4th of March 2014. Both of those, the allegation was a breach of the new code. The verdict of the panel was that there was no breach, and that was unanimous by 5 votes to 0. The next 2, I should state at this point, Councillor Marshall had to leave the meeting for another meeting. Business Management Overview and Scrutiny, 12th of July, and Business Management Overview and Scrutiny Committee, 12th of July 2010, and Business Management Overview and Scrutiny Committee, 16th of December 2010. The decision of the panel was that there was no breach. Both of those votes were not unanimous. They were 2 votes against 2, with the chairman's casting vote deciding that there had been no breach. The next one is Business Management Overview and Scrutiny Committee, 9th of January 2012. A decision there had been no breach. That was unanimous, 4 votes to 0. The next one, 6th Business Management Overview and Scrutiny Committee, 6th of January 2014. A decision that there had been no breach. That was unanimous, 4 votes to 0. And finally on the committees, Business Management Overview and Scrutiny Committee, 2nd of May 2013. No breach there. That was not unanimous, that was 2 votes to 2, so the chairman exercised their casting vote. Finally, there was an allegation of improper use of his position as a councillor in dealings with council officers, misuse of public office, and acting in breach of paragraphs 1.6, 4 and 5 of the code. The panel found there was no breach under that provision, and that was unanimous, 5 votes to 0. There's a couple of other decisions or matters that the group leaders panel wanted raised and minuted. One is to advise leaders, the group leaders, to remind members of their obligations under the Member Code of Conduct to disclose interests and to uphold high standards of public accountability, and to ask for training to be provided to members and examples of where to declare and what types of interest to declare to be provided by officers as part of that training. And finally, the panel again wanted minuted the group leaders are to remind the members of their groups to seek advice about the distinctions between when they are acting as a councillor and when they are acting privately.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nathan. If I can put some of those legislative recommendations in vernacular rather than in technical language, there is a lot of greyness about the code, and some examples will be very helpful, I feel, for members as we go forward, and particularly with some of the matters that have been discussed this evening at great work. And I think that concludes the meeting tonight. Thank you. Councillor Rayner.
Could I make a statement to the room before we leave? Is that permitted or not?
Yes.
That can be permitted, yes, Councillor Rayner.
Thank you very much indeed. Am I in focus? Fine. But thank you very much indeed. I thank my peers, that is the whole of the leaders panel, for deliberating at length on these matters and coming to the conclusions that they did. As a member of the London Landlords Accreditation Scheme, I would in fact encourage all people that let out their houses to people who are not in their family, or allow people who are not in their family to live in their houses, to in fact join the London Landlords Accreditation Scheme. And I would suggest also that I would also commend Mr. Dismore if he decides to let his house out. No names, sorry. Finally, I would also... I apologise for that comment.
Would you please withdraw it, Councillor?
I will withdraw that, yes. I apologise. And finally, there was a tweet made at 5:35 by the Hendon Times, which was incorrect. I didn't ask the panel to read the evidence carefully. I assumed that they had read the evidence carefully. I asked them to read my Appendix G carefully and include that information. And indeed, if you were to ask me for a quote after the meeting, I would refer you to my Appendix G, which I hope the newspapers will quote in full and completeness. If they are in any doubt, I have a digital version which I can send to them. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. And I apologise for that.
Meeting over. Thank you very much. Thank you.